Are you people running some kind of illegal business out of your backpacks? I know a drug front when I see one. And this whole cookie thing isn't fooling anybody. Get your little hustle off my property before I call the cops and have them search you for whatever you're really selling. You ever have one of those days where you think, yeah, nothing bad could possibly happen today? Sun shining, cool breeze, little birds out on the lawn, and for a second, you actually believe people are basically good? That was me, sitting at my desk on a Saturday morning, half focused on bills and emails, with my niece camped out on the living room floor. 10 years old, full of energy, decked out in her Girl Scout vest, and ready to sell cookies like her life depended on it. She had her best friend with her, two girls, little brown faces all smiles and gap teeth, and the kind of determination that only happens before the world teaches you to be afraid. They'd loaded up that rickety red wagon with more Thin Mints and Samoas than should be legal, and off they went, working the neighborhood. Now, my street isn't rough. It's upper middle class, pretty much every stereotype you'd imagine. Lawns trimmed with laser precision, mailboxes matching, SUVs and luxury sedans lining the driveways. People wave, but there's a lot of cold shoulders behind those closed doors. But this is supposed to be the kind of neighborhood where a couple of kids in sashes can knock on doors without trouble, right? So I watch from my office, blinds open, keeping an eye on them. First house, woman buys 3 boxes, all smiles. Second house, a guy in golf shorts tips them with a 20, tells them to keep the change. Americana, right? For about 15 minutes, it was perfect. Then they rolled up to the big corner house, the one with the stay off the grass signs and a lawn so perfect you know there's no way they mow it themselves. And out steps the neighborhood's self-appointed queen. Older lady, platinum hair, face pulled tight, dripping money and malice at the same time. You know the type. She took one look at those girls, and you could see it in her eyes. Suddenly, she's out there yelling, real, finger in your face, hair on fire angry. I can't hear what she's saying, but my niece is shrinking, her friend is crying, and this woman is acting like they've tried to set her house on fire. Before I can get my shoes on, she's on the phone, 911, screaming about suspicious activity, claiming she wants these aggressive individuals arrested. Aggressive? 10-year-old Girl Scouts. I'm out the door in under a minute, and by the time I hit the sidewalk, the girls are shaking, wagon abandoned, and the woman is giving me a death stare. Are you with them? She says, like I'm the ringleader of some criminal enterprise. They're Girl Scouts, I say. They're selling cookies. What exactly is the problem? She calls it a scam. Says it's all a front. That's when I realize, yeah, she actually believes the garbage coming out of her mouth. Just as I'm about to fire back, the cops show up. Lights spinning, car rolling up slow. 2 officers get out, young, looking confused, like they expected a hostage situation, not a couple of kids and some cookies. The woman launches right in. Officers, thank God you're here. These people are running some kind of illegal operation. I want them charged. I want them off my property. The officers look at her, then at me, then at the girls, then at the wagon of cookies. The male officer kneels down to my niece, real gentle. You selling cookies? She nods, clutching the box so tight her knuckles go white. The female officer asks the woman if there's a no soliciting sign. There isn't. Then there's no crime here, ma'am, she says, as calm as you please. The woman turns red, then purple, realizes she's lost, and hisses, this isn't over. But it is, at least for today. The cops apologize, tell me they get calls from her all the time, and drive off. The girls are done for the day. I buy the rest of their cookies, bring them inside, make hot chocolate, and try to put the pieces back together. But the damage is done. My niece cries herself to sleep. That night, staring out the window at the corner house, I make a promise. I'm not going anywhere. And next time she tries anything, I'll be ready. Days go by. She stares at my house, plotting. I have security cameras installed everywhere. Pool, backyard, driveway. The house becomes a fortress. I settle into a cold, quiet kind of vigilance. Then, 2 weeks later, I get the call. Motion detected, pool area. I'm in DC, middle of a meeting. I pull up the feed on my phone, and there's her son, smirking, blonde, with a friend, pouring cases of cheap beer into my pool, winking right at the camera like he's starring in his own little hate-filled music video. They dump 60 cans, throw empties everywhere. Then, the grand finale. Her son urinates in the pool, his buddy filming it all. Message received. When I get home, the pool is ruined. Hazmat suit level cleanup, thousands of dollars in damage. But the security footage is gold. I cut it, label it, back it up 6 ways. I bring it to the police, show them the timeline, the clear intent, the link to the earlier harassment. The detective's face says it all. These kids think they're untouchable. We have it on video, he says. They're going to face charges, trespass, vandalism, hate crime enhancement. Game on. I hit up my lawyer, the kind of civil litigator who leaves no survivors. He's grinning. We're not just making them pay for the pool. We're making them pay for the hate. Lawsuit incoming, not just for damages, but for emotional distress, for civil rights violations. And I'm not done. I comb through the HOA rules. No harassment, no public nuisance, parents responsible for their kids. I draft a formal complaint, send it to every board member with a link to the video. A bomb goes off in the neighborhood. An emergency hearing is scheduled. She's summoned to explain herself in front of everyone. The legal battle is ugly. The families team up, hire a bulldog lawyer, try to frame it all as a teenage prank. They start a smear campaign, call me vindictive, say I'm trying to ruin lives over a joke. But the evidence keeps piling up. Discovery turns up deleted texts. Time to give the new neighbor a housewarming present. Mom is gonna love this. Social media, full of racist jokes, group chats plotting payback. The businessman's son flips, turns state's witness. The narrative crumbles. At the HOA hearing, I keep it simple. Show the video, talk about my niece, talk about wanting a safe place for my family. Then the projector rolls. The room goes silent. Her son's face, the urination, the wink, it's all up there, 6 feet high. The sympathy she tried to build evaporates. The oldest neighbor stands up and says, "Protect it from what? 2 little girls selling cookies." That's the end of the line for her reputation. The lawsuit steamrolls her. Her lawyer quits after she calls Child Protective Services on me, claiming my niece is in danger, using the very trauma she caused as the pretext. But my cameras have it all. CPS watches the tape, sees the truth, and they turn on her, launching a criminal complaint for filing a false report. The HOA finds her, begins proceedings to force her out. Her son gets taken back into custody. The other family settles, pays up, their son testifies against her. She's alone, broke, out of allies, facing a civil suit, felony charges, and community exile. I get a letter, rambling, desperate, begging for mercy. I don't feel a thing. My lawyer drafts the final settlement. $1.5 million judgment, confession of guilt, agreement to sell her house, permanent restraining order. She signs. She leaves. Her son does community service, mandatory counseling, and the hate dies a quiet, pathetic death. The equity from her house pays for the pool, the lawyers, and the rest goes straight to the Girl Scouts and the NAACP. Life moves on. The corner house gets bought by a young family. Doctor, schoolteacher, 3 kids. They tear up the sterile lawn and plant wildflowers. The neighborhood starts to heal. Block parties, laughter, kids in the street. My niece, at first wary, regains her confidence, especially when she's honored at the Girl Scout Awards for courage and resilience. Next year, she sells cookies from a table at the end of our driveway. The whole community comes out. She sells out in 2 hours, grinning from ear to ear, her red wagon now a symbol of victory instead of fear. And as I sit by my pool, water clear, the world quiet again, I realize justice isn't always about a judge's gavel or the balance in a bank account. Sometimes it's about the peace you reclaim, the dignity you refuse to let anyone take, and the community you help build when you decide enough is enough. I learned that the best revenge isn't about destroying someone else. It's making sure they never have the power to hurt you or anyone you care about ever again. So where do you stand? Was it too much? Not enough? Would you have done anything differently? I'm honestly curious, because every street's got its bullies, but not every street stands up to them. Drop your thoughts below. What's the wildest neighborhood drama you've ever seen? Let's talk about justice, about community, about fighting back when you know you're right. Because sometimes, the only way to make sure goodness wins is to get a little stubborn yourself.